Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1985's Ghoulies. And before we get started, a couple of things. First, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Corey_idol. And you could follow us on Twitter. You could follow the show on Twitter or Instagram at Kiss the Reviews. So plenty of different ways to follow us or the show or whatever. But first things first, welcome to October. And we've decided to do something a little bit different here. So we have a boatload of requests. Corey, I don't know how many, like if we were to number them all out, I don't know how many we have. All I know is that I have a huge list and we're booked through basically the end of the year.
Yeah, first, quit bragging about the size of your list, because that's a little gauche. Let other people do that for you.
It's not long, it's thick. So
it's distinguished as well. No, we are currently booked out right now, I think, in like 22 weeks.
Wow.
Which, I don't know if you math or not, but that's close to half a year.
Yes.
So, and those are all PayPal requests.
Yeah.
So I cannot stress this enough. This is not about greed. Throw a 50-cent donation if you want to. But the best way, the only way at this point, for God's sakes, you're going to see any movie you want us to review is to do that through PayPal.
Yes. So, and as we do during holidays, like my favorite holiday, Halloween, we didn't want to postpone the paid reviews. So we decided to come up with a great plan, which was, hey, for every Wednesday in October, we're going to give you a horror movie, make it horror movie month, and then Fridays, the regular shows will come out as scheduled. So that way, everybody gets their movie, and we give a couple of surprises throughout the month.
Yay!
So we thought that was cool. Hope you guys do too. But with that said...
Yeah. If you don't, just subscribe and ignore us, but at least fucking subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get into this, let's start with the cast of 1985's Ghoulies. This film stars Peter Liapis as Jonathan Graves, Lisa Pelikan as Rebecca, Michael DeBar as Malcolm Graves, Jack Nance as Wolfgang, and Scott Thomson as Mike. And why Scott Thomson as Mike got a title card in this, I have no idea. And I don't know if you remember who Mike was, but he's the guy at the very end of this movie in the car who's sitting in the back seat with the glasses. He's the stoner that has all the drugs on him throughout this whole movie.
Oh, like, Mike. Yeah, of course. Yeah. What, do you think I was going to forget about Mike of all the people in the world? I know. Look, when I walk into a party, I can tell within 5 seconds where the drug guy is. Promise you that.
He's the guy doing head spins in the middle of the floor with drugs flying out of his pockets willy-nilly. So this film, this had a very, like, if you guys have watched a review on The Gate, this had a very Gate kind of feel to it. With, instead of claymation, they were like, dude, I got a great idea. How about sock puppets with googly eyes? We good?
Yeah. Jim Henson, this was not.
No.
However, I think they were a lot closer than they realized to being one of those really cool, like, 70s satanic kind of cult movies. You know what I mean?
It could have gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gotten there.
One, we needed way more gratuitous Bush. Because that is definitely a staple of those 70s movies. But it had to have been there. And it's just not. Like, I feel like this movie really couldn't decide whether it wanted to be for kids or for adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like Showgirls.
Yes.
But no, seriously, like, I don't understand where they went here with half of it.
Ghoulies, the Showgirls of 1985.
Just sagging ass green titties.
Everybody's got glowing green nipples.
That's right.
What do you say? You want to take a shot at this film? You want to jump into this?
What else have we got to do?
Let's do this. So this movie opens with a satanic ceremony where a baby named Jonathan Graves is about to be sacrificed by his father, Malcolm, who has glowing green eyes for some reason. And let's face it, he does look a little jaundiced. Like, it's it's a thing.
Yeah, he looks like jaundiced Rucker-Hauer.
During this whole ceremony, Jonathan's mother, Anastasia, rescues him and puts an amulet around his neck that produces an electric shock when Malcolm touches him. And Malcolm then tells Wolfgang to take Jonathan away and then sacrifices Anastasia instead. Corey's life lessons.
Hi, cult leaders. Uncle Corey here. If you have the option of sacrificing the adult or the baby, just sacrifice the goddamn adult. What are you doing wasting? You're going to get emotions. No matter how much you got somebody psyched in, sacrificing a baby is just going to get something stirred up in somebody else. It's going to have them go, are we doing the right thing here?
Exactly.
Just sacrifice the goddamn adult.
Listen,
come on.
When it comes to rituals, just don't be a dick. Can that be the rule?
That's it. Like, I'm sure it's going to get you mad street cred with the other cult leaders. But it's it's over the top, dude.
When you have your hate breakfast on Sunday mornings, and you're all around the Denny's table and
the Denny's table.
I don't know. Is that where the cult leaders have their meetings? Is it at a Denny's?
What's up? What's up? What the fuck's up, Denny's?
Yo, that dude killed a fucking baby. That cult is crazy.
Yo, they go hard in the paint.
They go super hard.
It then cuts to years later. A grown Jonathan now, who was raised by Wolfgang, inherits his father's house, and Jonathan doesn't know who either his mother or his father was because Wolfgang is the one that raised him.
Take him away! Forever!
I have loads of questions here just in this setup. One, who the fuck is Wolfgang? He's just some rando that jumped out of the fucking crowd. And then the cult leader dad is like, take that baby out of here. Forever. And by forever, I guess he means 28 years fucking later.
You were right.
So, what did they do for 28 years after they did the sacrifice? Like, if they were able to sacrifice the mom and their thing worked, what was everybody's normal. Everything's just like there. But B, where did Wolfgang go? Because it looks like Wolfgang's been living still at this mansion this whole time. C, who the fuck inherited this? Who left it to Jonathan? Because he didn't know who his mom and dad were. Wolfgang's still alive. Yeah. So how the fuck did he get this house? Which, by the way, he was supposed to stay away from forever.
Yeah,
but he says later we find out that it was the dad's plan all along to have him come back.
Yeah, dude.
What in the fuck in hell of rewrites happened here?
As Jonathan and his girlfriend Rebecca tour this property, they find Malcolm's grave, which is his father. And Jonathan introduces Rebecca to Wolfgang. And then in the house, Rebecca finds books on magic. Jonathan finds the satanic fucking torture dungeon with his father's robe, along with satanic books of spells or whatever. And all of a sudden, Jonathan, who by all accounts seems like a very normal 25, 26-year-old guy. He's got his girlfriend. Hey, we got this huge house. We're going to build this life together. And now he's just like, immediately he's like, satanic spells? Awesome.
Yeah. Hiring tip for all you employers out there. Jonathan would be a great employee because he just dives all the way in to his work. Yep. He is 100% committed immediately.
Yeah.
And how the fuck does he know how to read and speak Latin?
I don't know what you mean.
Like, he just picked up the book and was like, oh man, I'm a natural Latin speaker. Like Charlie can naturally speak Gaelic and Always Sunny.
Yeah, exactly. His girlfriend, Rebecca, here is like, dope house. We've been here for 3 seconds. There's cobwebs, there's dust and spiders everywhere. But I got a great idea. Let's throw a party, Jonathan. And Jonathan's like, dope idea. Let's throw this party. So they invite all of their weird, shitty friends over their house. And at said party, Jonathan decides to perform a satanic ritual with his friends. And he takes them into like the murder, like fuck dungeon in the basement. He draws like the occult like pentagram and shit, tells everybody to stay inside the circle. He recites the spell from the book he found. Everybody else is finding this super humorous except for Jonathan.
Shut up, goddammit!
Nothing happens, and everyone leaves the basement to go search for their missing friend Robin. Now, as ridiculous as this whole scene is, I have a quick don't do that, and it kind of relates to what we were talking about earlier.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
People interested in magic and the occult and whatnot, you invite people over, and this kind of goes for everything. If you want to perform rituals, but, or like, I don't know, you want to do a prayer circle, you want to play game, let's play a game, guys, at your party. Don't be a dick. He's very demanding during this. He's like, hey, this isn't a joke. You shut the fuck up. Stay in the thing. Listen, we're at a party, guy. Yeah. Don't be that guy at the party who's like, well, if the party doesn't go this way and the game isn't played this way, let's fucking settle down. First of all, 3 of your friends, I'm pretty sure, shot heroin in the bathroom. Okay? We're not good with rules around here.
No, yeah. If you find yourself at a party and you go, play a game right, leave, bro.
It's not for you. Listen, there's certain people you meet and you're like, that guy'd be a cool guy to party with or have a beer with. Jonathan, not one of those guys. He's very demanding and like, everything's got to be like this.
Yeah. Don't have an agenda when you go to a party. Ever. Ever. Especially if it's not your fucking party.
Yes. After this whole satanic ritual thing, goes awry, Wolfgang then wakes up in a panic as a slimy, like, pug-looking creature, mini monster materializes in the basement. And as they look for Robin, we get the magical, creepy clown in the closet. And then they finally find Robin by Jonathan's father's grave. And cool. The party then, it just kind of ends.
Yep. Toad Man goes on the prowl, which, by the way, can we just discuss this fuckface for a second?
Yes. We totally can.
Good. Instead of that, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to speak directly to the fuckfaces.
Corey's life lessons.
Hey, fuckos. Uncle Corey here. If you go by something like Toad Man and you have an alter ego where you're like, blah, I'm a toad, blah, 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 and you're over the age of, 9, you need to get fucking help. Because the biggest piece of fiction in this whole movie is Toad Man having a friend, let alone a room of friends, one person in which is actually considering fucking him.
I went out with Mark last night. You're kidding. You mean Toad Boy?
And listen, again, it's okay to be weird. Like, I'm a little weird in certain scenarios. Like, it's okay to be a little quirky and weird and whatever. This shit? No, not for me, guy. Not for me. You can get fucked with whatever the fuck is going on in your head.
Yeah.
So,
no. I would rather spend a party with 12 dicks. And I don't mean like little penises. I mean like the guy character in this movie, Dick, who is like twitching and wants to fuck everything. I would rather spend a party with all of them than one Toad Man in a room of 100 people.
They call me Dick, but you can call me Dick.
I'd rather spend every party from now to the end of time going to 12 Jonathans who are just completely or bossing me around at the party and telling me what I can and can't do and ordering me to do rituals a certain way. Like, I'd rather hang out with that guy.
I'm gonna conjure up a spirit.
After the party ends, Jonathan then tells Rebecca that he has decided to drop out of college and work on the estate and, bringing the house back to its former glory or whatever the fuck. And Rebecca is definitely not supportive of Jonathan's decision here.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Full disclosure, I'm on Team Rebecca immediately because Jonathan, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Absolutely.
How much money have you pissed away? No, this is what, 1980 something?
Yeah.
You got like 40 years before that student loan's forgiven, bro. You just need to finish this bitch off.
But it then cuts like literally from that scene into Jonathan getting to work on cleaning this house. And he is incredibly aggressive in this clean job that he's just throwing shit around. He's aggressively sweeping everything. And the evil one then takes hold of Jonathan here, and he begins performing satanic rituals in the fuck dungeon. And he then makes this gold medallion and gives the talisman to Rebecca for protection. Everything I just said happened in 45 seconds in this movie.
Yes. They are giving us no time to breathe, let alone actually try and process a plot of any kind.
There is a lot going on.
There is satanic shit. I don't know if like what he made her is what he has on, or if it's something different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's possessed, but maybe not. But then like he starts conjuring creatures, and there are all these like, dude, real talk. If I get into Satanism and I'm holding rituals and I'm giving over myself to the Dark Lord, and I conjure up demon slaves, and fucking ghoulies and two dwarfs are what show up in medieval fucking clothes. Here's an idea. I don't need to see any of it. Things just go my way. That's how I know Satan's around now, because the other one is like everything falls down when I'm around him. So like when I hit the lotto, that's when I know Satan's kicked in.
Hell yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, Warwick Davis. I don't need your help. I'm good.
So after Jonathan brings forth the little ghoulies that he creates, he proclaims that he's their master, and then he tells them to hide from everybody but him. And Jonathan then puts on his dad's robe and starts conducting rituals in the fuck dungeon. Rebecca walks in on him, and she's just like, dude, do your creepy ass shit in the basement. I'm going to go make some dinner for myself. But she like sticks around. Like, listen, there's a lot of like weird, creepy shit that if you walked in on your significant other, you'd be like, yo, this too far. I'm out. You're not 5 years old trying to put your dad's work shoes on and pretending like you're going to the office.
Oh, you're not even putting on your mom's heels and seeing if they feel good.
Yeah. You're literally in a satanic robe. You got fucking glowing jaundice eyes. You got this weird fucking, I don't know, paper mache like sword thing. And you're in Bahama. If I walk in on that shit, I don't care if we're married, dating, we're just roommates. If I walk in on that shit, I am kicking the fuck out of you, and then I'm dipping. Like, you're not going to get my rent next month.
You were right.
She acts like she caught him jerking off. Like,
exactly.
Okay, you keep jerking off and strangling yourself with that fucking noose. And what, am I the only one that does that? Is that not as commonplace as I thought?
But
so anyway, you like, she's acting like she fucking caught him jerking off, where she's just like, I'm gonna go make dinner for myself. You finish whatever this is. Yeah. And it's like, no, that's not what happened.
We're so far beyond that. Yeah. Yeah, and then they go upstairs and they're in the kitchen. He's like, oh, sorry, honey. I won't fucking slit goats' throats in the fucking basement anymore. And she's like, oh, okay, Johnny. And then they just go to bed. And later that night, Rebecca and Jonathan decide that she wants to have sex with the creepy fucking satanic robe guy. And all of a sudden, the ghoulies show up. They go under the bed. They're drawing like the pentagram. Jonathan starts chanting some shit, and Rebecca gets pissed. And as she gets up, she notices like the pentagram and shit drawn under the bed. And she's like, yo, you know what? When you confine this to the basement and you were in your robes and shit, that's cool. Listen to Black Sabbath and drink, goat's blood. That's fine. Not in the bedroom. Like, don't be inside me and chanting. Like, that's creepy.
You kind of covered this in Desperado when you gave your don't do that for taking yourself too seriously.
Yes.
It's like, dude, stop bringing your work home with you.
You're goddamn right.
I get it. Jesus is in everything. So that should technically mean Satan knows when the fuck to butt out. And
Yes.
that would be right now. Like, I'm off the clock, devil. Take him. I'll punch in at 9 a.m. tomorrow in my robes. Fuck you.
Yes. I'm saying no to Satan right now, please.
Right? Like, I'm trying to get my D sucked over here. What the fuck are you doing? Asshole.
So later, Jonathan performs another ritual. He conjures two dwarves named Grizzle and Greedy Gut or whatever the fuck. And
whoever, I don't even know who wrote this because I didn't want to know their name, but whoever wrote this
is awful.
Did the most fantastic cocaine that has ever existed. Because that is the only way you are conjuring up demons and ghoulies and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Grizzle and Giggle Gut. Blammo! Now we got it.
That precisely.
It's why you've called us, Master.
Because then they stand back to back and they have to drink out of the chalice. And if you're if you're good enough to be a follower of me and I'll be your master, you get to drink out of the chalice. I'd be like, dude, your name's Jonathan. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, here's the thing. Grizzle Gut and fucking whatever the fuck.
Grizzle Gut and Greedy Fuck. These guys.
They may know the rules. Right? We don't. So you're having this weird conversation on camera where you're like,
How may we drink?
If you do not release us from the triangle.
Why can't you escape the triangle?
Listen.
What happened? Like, drink it or you'll burn. Is this like a Last Crusade situation? Are they going to melt if they drink from their cup? If they're in the triangle? But if they're struck... What the fuck is the point of this?
They had an hour and 15 minutes of actual movie runtime. They had no time to explain. They had no time. They were like, listen, guys, we're on the fucking clock. Satan wasn't on the clock. They were the only bitches that were on the clock in this movie. They tell him here that he has to perform this ritual with 7 other people to get the knowledge and the power, because Jonathan apparently wants to be He-Man, and so he wants the knowledge and the power.
Even He-Man specified that he had the power of Grayskull. What the fuck power and knowledge are you talking? Like, the Dark Lord's power? All the... not... What are...
I don't know.
I don't know what you mean.
So it cuts to Rebecca then coming back to the house to ask Jonathan to leave the house because she loves him so much, but he's been such a creepy fuck since he's been in this house. So now I want you to leave. But he says no. He reveals his jaundiced eyes to Rebecca. And when she tries to leave, the dwarves cast a spell on Rebecca and she stays. Corey's Life Lessons.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. If your partner is having a loose side relationship with Satan, and you've left the house, and then you decide to one more chance. I'm gonna try and talk some sense into him, get him out of this house, right? Don't go deep into the interior of the home where he
don't enter the doorway.
No, like, hey man, come with me. Why? I don't know. I have a flat fucking tire at the drive. A million different reasons. But you literally tell him the truth. Oh, I think this house is killing you. By the way, I'm going to go in the kitchen and make myself a bowl of fucking cereal while I'm waiting for you to pack your things.
Jonathan, you want a grilled cheese? I'm making one for myself. You got wheat bread in this bitch? Jonathan then invites all his terrible friends over again for dinner to get the 7 others to perform his ritual. And he makes them all wear like glasses with fucking windshield wipers on them, because it's 85. And apparently it's so they can't see the ghoulies, I guess. Is that the reason?
That's what I gathered later. I first thought they were there for a Rocky Horror Picture Show, like fun time watch. Like they were all going to do the time warp at any moment. But as it turns out, that was not the case. Yeah, no, they're towards the end of the scene. Because, exposition's fun. They say, like, what is all this food? I can't even see what I'm eating. Which, by the way...
Corey's Life Lessons!
Hi, dinner party guests. Uncle Corey here. If you show up and are forced to wear some sort of blockers for your vision, and then are given a plate of food and just said, eat up, your response should be universally, go fuck yourself. Because there's no way I am doing that. I need to see it, smell it, touch it. I need to have every sense available before I use the 5th, which is to fucking eat it.
Yes.
There ain't no fucking way.
I'm going to tag this, and if somebody does that to you, not only should you tell them to fuck off, here's the reason why. Because there is urine or semen in your food. Okay?
I just assume there's urine and semen in all food at this point.
So Jonathan, obviously being the fucking prick that he is and demanding asshole, makes everybody get up. They do the drinky drink. He performs this ritual as his friends and the ghoulies chant along because they're now all caught up in the fucking rigmarole of what's going on. And apparently all of his friends were oblivious to the ritual because they're not in the dining room anymore. Now they're in the basement, and then they're transported all over the fucking. Now they're time traveling, and then at the end of said ritual, they're just back in the thing, and he's like, "Cool, thanks for all your help, guys. You could take off the sunglasses now and stay the night. Just pick a room and just go bang. But me and Rebecca, we're tired. We're gonna go take a nap. You guys good with that?" And everybody is immediately like, yo, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but yeah, let's get high and fuck.
Yeah, by the way, it's exactly how I felt about this script right about now. Because I'm just like, can you fucking explain one thing that is happening? What? Knowledge and power, okay? Is not a fucking plot point. No. It's not. That is not the motivation for a... What do you want? Knowledge and power. Okay. Cool. Guess what? Everybody wants that.
And that night, like during the ritual, apparently he wakes his dad up from the grave. So that night, Jonathan's zombie dad rises from the grave, proclaims himself as the ghoulie master.
You're not master anymore. I'm master. Dad, I'm master. No, you're not, son. I'm the master. They literally have that conversation.
They do. And you're arguing about being a master over sock puppets that are 4 inches tall. Yeah. What the fuck are we doing here? Like, for real. What are we doing?
You know how I kill a ghoulie if it attacks me? I do this. Just like a goddamn paper football.
They don't even have sharp teeth. Their fingernails and their teeth are all rounded. I'm like, who are you hurting? Because here, they now go on the attack. They attack all the friends. And like Donna and Toady Boy, whatever the fuck, they're attacked by the ghoulies at the fountain. The door then blows open on the back of the house or whatever. And Malcolm enters the house and takes the form of a woman. He was like, oh, hey, Dick, you're so horny. So now I'm a woman. And he brings him in and then he seduces him in 3 seconds. And then he chokes him to death with his Gene Simmons tongue.
Yeah, you don't have to seduce Dick. That's for sure. He's ready to go at all times. But I said earlier that Toad having a friend was the most unrealistic part of this entire movie.
Yes.
Scratch that. The most unrealistic part of this movie is Dick actually taking the time to ask that woman's name.
Who are you?
Yes.
That ain't happening, bro. Like, he gives a fuck.
No.
Are you
Listen.
kidding me? I think he found out 2 days ago women had names.
You were right.
This is really weird. Just obviously, just in general as a movie. But from here on out, it is literally like normally when a movie's like really fast paced from a certain point on, I'm like, hey, don't blink. You're going to miss something because like it's super exciting. Nothing's exciting about this, but it's super fast paced. And if you blink, you're not going to miss any exposition because there is none. You're just going to miss a lot of scenes that are strung together willy-nilly. Yeah. So Jonathan apologizes to Rebecca before breaking her spell by putting the talisman back around her neck again. Rebecca then falls into this deep sleep for some strange reason there's no explanation for. The Ghoulies finish killing everyone in the house or attacking them or whatever the hell's going on because they're not dead. And Rebecca wakes up to see Jonathan in a trance in the corner of the room in his tighty whities or whatever. She runs away. After taking the little medallion off, she's attacked by the flying squirrel Ghoulies now because apparently they could fly across rooms. She falls down the stairs. She like breaks her neck and she dies. Jonathan goes to Rebecca's dead body. He tries to use his powers to bring her back to life, so he takes her to the fuck dungeon. This brings us to the climax, if you want to call it that, of this movie. Jonathan sees his dead, possessed friends in the basement. Malcolm walks in. Malcolm, tells him that he's his dad. He claims to be everybody's master. And then it's like, you're the master. I'm the master. You're the master. Fucking whatever. And Malcolm then tells Jonathan that he wants Jonathan's youth and he's going to finish the job that he didn't finish when he was a baby. And so they're like, there's this whole weird thing going on because Malcolm brings Rebecca back to life to distract him. And then Grizzlegut and Deedledorf are like, hey, it's a trap. Like, dude, literally what the fuck is going on here?
Well, okay, so Malcolm's motivation is he wants his youth. But Malcolm is also totally back to human form and is literally the same age Jonathan is at this point.
He literally goes from like this blue face avatar look to like everything's starting to go back to like what it was at the beginning of the movie. And there's no reason for him to be in human form. Like, you're literally walking, talking, you're touching people and fucking whatever.
You've done nothing. You should have stayed a zombie the whole time.
Yeah. Then you have Wolfgang that jumps in. The house is starting to crumble. Wolfgang beats Malcolm and they both vanish. And they're having this like weird like I-beam fight. Like, whatever. And Jonathan revives his friends and they all leave the house. And as they're driving away, Jonathan's like, everything's back to normal and cool, and there's nothing to worry about. And then the Ghoulies jump up from the fucking back.
So Wolfgang says in the middle of the movie that he can't help. Yes. He said the dark hold or the dark powers of the house or whatever had a hold of Jonathan, and Wolfgang was powerless to help, as he narrates, and also can't talk at the same time. So,
yes,
whatever. So we can't help until he can?
Yes.
You've been able to shoot fucking lightning out of your eyes this whole fucking time.
Yes!
And you haven't stepped in until now? Fuck you, Wolfgang.
Dude, Wolfgang can fuck right off because
what a dick.
It literally, the whole thing, he's like, I can't help. I can't do anything. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. The fucking Grand Wizard or whatever the fuck they call Malcolm in this thing, like, he's coming back and I am powerless to stop it. But then you start wrestling with him and you start doing fucking lightning eyes.
Yeah, you stop it.
We didn't even know you had powers until the last 4 seconds of this movie.
I didn't know you could talk until 15 minutes ago.
Listen, Christina, we love you, but at the same time, this movie, like, we don't really shit on movies. There's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of like, hey, we'll make fun of situations. This movie, plain and simple, is dog shit.
Yeah. There's a reason the ghoulie is crawling out of the toilet on the cover of this movie.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I literally, I don't really have anything else for this outside of this said an hour and 21 minutes, and that included like the title card sequence with all the music and then the ending credits. So it had to be what, 118, 117?
This was basically a Hallmark movie without the commercials.
That's exactly what this was. That's exactly what this was. But that's all I got. So welcome to Halloween month in October, people.
It gets better.
I was gonna say, hopefully it gets better from here.
It does. It does.
But that's all I got. I'm assuming you don't have anything else, Corey.
Fuck. No, I want to go wash this off of me immediately.
All right. Well, with that said, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1985's Ghoulies.